Well, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I'm so incredibly happy and excited to be here with you all. For those of you who are listening, tuning in all over the world, what we are doing today is going to be something that I don't think I've ever done it in this capacity before, right? We're going to talk about the new moon. And the new moon, which will actually, today is not the new moon. The new moon actually debuts on the 21st of October. But I want us to prepare. I want us to get ready for the new moon. That's why I decided to have this workshop here today in this very, very special way. Okay. What we're going to do today is, because I was looking at the energy of everything, I was taking it all in. I was really becoming present with what's available to us in the next 30 days. And it really made me excited. Actually, it made me excited to manifest something that we're doing all day, every day, 24/7. We're always manifesting. But did you know that there are certain energy points throughout our day, our week, our month, our year that are better for manifesting certain things? So, for example, the new moon is the portal with which we manifest for the month ahead, meaning the next 30 days or a lunar cycle. On the new moon, the energy is very, very different than it is on the full moon. When we gather here on the full moon, it's all about what's reactive. It's a reactive energy. It's an energy that's very, very, very emotional and intense. You notice that when it's a full moon, people around us, people in the world, they go a little crazy. They get really anxious. They get reactive. Whereas on a new moon, the moon is the farthest away from the earth. When it's a full moon, the moon is closest to the earth. And so what's the difference? The difference is that when the moon is farthest away, like it will be this week, we have this amazing opportunity to not have the same kind of influence that we would if the moon was full and making us reactive. So we have a little bit of space with our emotions. We have some space to think clearly. We have the space to plant new seeds. Now, just like many of the farmers of the world plant new seeds on the full moon so that their crops can best grow, here today, what we're doing is we're planting new seeds. We're planting more seeds so that our lives can bloom, so that our lives can blossom. So new moons are very, very, very special time. Now, what's also very, very unique is that this year, this new moon is in the sign of Libra, whereas you would normally think that it would be moving into the sign of Scorpio. And there are a few different lunar astrological traditions, like the astrological tradition of Kabbalah, that actually follow the traditional cycle of the moon. So many will then look to the new moon to be in Scorpio. But what we're going to talk about tonight is the new moon in Libra, what we can do with that energy and how we can use it in our lives to best fulfill all of our heart's desires. Now, I asked you guys to bring something special and unique to this workshop today. I asked you to bring a playlist or some certain songs that make you feel beautiful, that make you feel happy, that put you in a good mood. I asked you also to bring a piece of clothing or a piece of jewelry or a piece of something that also reminds you of how you want to feel for the month ahead. I invited you to bring things that you want to have around you to also be reminded of this beautiful energy. And we also began to look in our day-to-day lives for pictures and words and things that we want to add to our vision board. This is a different kind of vision board. This is a 5D vision board. So it might not be just a board. Now what we're going to do is create something that's multidimensional, that helps us to stay in and to activate this energy. Okay, so first, before we get into all of that, what I want to do is I want to talk about the energy of this new moon. It's very, very, very exciting. So the energy that we're going to discuss tonight is the energy of Libra. Libra is the sign of the scales, right? When you look at all of the energies that come with the sign of Libra, you look at balance, you look at harmony, you look at diplomacy. One of the things that I want us all to remember in the next 30 days is to consider equilibrium over perfection, right? Oftentimes, with the influence of Libra, Libra wants to see everything also so beautiful and so perfect and so magical. But it does so oftentimes without allowing itself to recognize that everything from the point of view of the creator is beautiful. It's just how they're interpreting it and how they're seeing it. Okay, so what we get to do in the next 30 days is we get to recalibrate those scales in our lives. Perhaps some of those scales are tilted way over in this direction. Some of the scales are tilted way in this direction. For the next 30 days, the balance and harmony with which you navigate everything in your life will become a lot clearer and will be more of a contribution than you stressing yourself out, giving too much attention to the things that are not important to you. So much of our life and our energy is about focusing on what is wrong in our lives. Very rarely is it focused on what is right, what is working. The scales are usually tipped towards criticism instead of gratitude, instead of love. They're tilted in the direction of what is wrong. And so for this month, I want you to begin to become aware of what you're focusing on. Now, for sure, I know that we all have to have a healthy balance of criticism in our lives. We all have to know what we have to work on, right? Yes, that is important. But what if just knowing what it is you need to work on is enough instead of focusing on it and beating yourself up for it? The problem that most of us face is not that we don't know what we need to work on, but it's that which we have made our divine focus, right? How often have we been in situations in our lives that we wanted something so badly and we couldn't understand why it wasn't working? And because it wasn't working, we needed to find an aspect of us to blame. It was just in a beautiful, amazing session with a young 17-year-old girl who's just faced a pretty bad injury. And she's a dancer. And just a month ago, she was offered the lead role in the Nutcracker Ballet. And the week after she was given that opportunity, she suffered a great injury and not only won't be able to dance in the Nutcracker, her dream role, but she's had to shift her focus in her life for the next 6 to 12 weeks. Obviously, you can imagine that she's completely devastated. She's brokenhearted. She doesn't know where to focus her energy. Her whole life has been focused on dance. But something beautiful happened today in my time with her in our session. I asked her, I said, what is all of this teaching you? If you could imagine that there was a positive reason why you're going through all of these challenges right now with this injury in dance, what do you think the reason would be? And you know what she said to me? She said, well, it's teaching me that dance is not the most important thing in my life. She said, it's teaching me to have balance in my life. And I said, well, what are you doing with that awareness of having balance in your life? She said, well, I'm spending it with people who I wouldn't normally spend my time with people who I wouldn't normally spend my time with. And I said, that's great. Any particular someone extra special? And she's like, yeah, I have a crush on this guy. And I said, oh, how is that going? She said, well, I don't know yet, but it seems to be going really well. And the creator showed me that had she been so consumed in the dance world, in the Nutcracker and everything that she'd been focused on, she wouldn't have met this guy. He was not a part of her dance friends, not a part of her dance world, didn't even go to her school. This was a chance encounter that happened because she was spending time with somebody outside of her regular circle of friends. This is such a great example that I want each and every one of us to remember. Life is always throwing us curveballs. It's throwing us curveballs in crazy places and in crazy directions. And many times we feel so defeated. We feel so helpless. We feel so lost. We feel so frustrated. We think, how could this be happening right now at this time? When what's happening is the creator is coming along and just recalibrating your energy to align with something else you've been asking for, but maybe that you had forgotten. So I continued to ask the young lady, I said, so have you been asking for a boyfriend? And she says, yeah, I've never had a boyfriend. All of my friends have boyfriends, and I wondered what it's like. And I said, so you've been putting a lot of energy into it? And she's like, yeah. She said, in the dance world, it's all girls. So there are no boys for me to meet there. I spend most of my days with the girls. I said, well, so you see how something changes our destiny. Now, I want to kind of offer this to us as well. What if you didn't have to suffer an injury in order to be aligned with what it is you want, or the ability to have everything that you want? The answer is clear. The answer, my friends, is balance. And so I'd like for each of us to take a moment before we dive deeper into our awarenesses of what we've got going on this month and think about a place in your life that you don't have balance, a place in your life that you feel consumed, all consumed with something. So I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes to do that. Okay, so again, I'll go ahead and write, Sabrina, to you. What area of our lives are we too focused on one thing that we don't have balance in other areas of our life? That if we shifted our awareness to have balance would open up the pathway for us to receive everything we want. Okay? So it's a question that I think that we can all ask ourselves, which I think is really important. Again, I'll repeat the question. What areas of our lives are we too focused on one thing that we don't have balance in other areas of our life? That if we shifted our awareness to have balance, would open up the pathway for us to receive everything we want. Here's the thing. Most of us don't believe that we can actually have everything that we want. So we go, I really want to have a very successful career. I really want to have a beautiful, healthy, romantic life with somebody I love. But we don't believe it. We get stuck. We get locked in and think if something is working, that's where we need to place our energy. So if work is going great, then I guess I need to keep focusing my energy on work. But if relationships are not going great, I don't want to give that too much attention, right? But the truth is that we've got to be willing to have a healthy balance of all that we're giving our attention and awareness to, so that we can have more of what is a contribution to us. This is the one of the number one keys I want to share with you guys tonight as we manifest under this Libra energy. Okay? So we're looking at places in our lives that we have the imbalance. And wherever in your life you feel imbalanced, meaning out of balance, I want you to make a commitment to giving those aspects of your life just a little bit more energy. Okay? Now, here's the second awareness I want to create for the Libra new moon. Libra is the sign of the people pleaser. What does that mean? It means that way too often, under the influence of this energy, whether you are a Libra or you are not a Libra, under this sign, you'll feel it a lot. But if you are a Libra, if you have any major planets in Libra, you'll really feel what I'm talking to you about. People pleasing, making other people, places, and situations more important than you. Letting other people's judgments of you affect how you behave, how you show up, or what you put out into the world. Whether it's your art, whether it's your career, whether it's your dress, we all edit ourselves because we are so concerned with what other people are going to think about us. So I want us to be really brutally honest with ourselves right now, my friends. Where in your life are you caring too much about what other people think that you're holding back, revealing, and sharing your absolute truth? So anything that boils up with that, can we just destroy and uncreate it? Can we destroy and uncreate the belief that other people's points of views, opinions, perspectives of you are more important than who you are and who you be authentically? If you'd like that, say yes. Yeah. And so this month, in the 30 days that we have ahead under this energy, I would like to inspire each of us to take more risks, to take more risks in how we show up with other people, to be not so dependent upon validation from other people, to not be so dependent on praise, also to not be so dependent on criticism from others as well. Many of us thrive on having criticism from other people. We don't even realize it, but we thrive on it. We thrive on people saying, "Oh, you look so good, but oh, your face, it could be a little bit tighter," or, "Oh, that color is not so good on you." We thrive on it. Why? Because it confirms and validates our own inner opponent. And when there is that kind of confirmation with our inner opponent, we go, okay, then criticizing myself must be the right thing for me to do. This month, instead of waiting for others to criticize you, I want you to also be mindful to ask yourself a wonderful question. What would be the worst possible thing that could happen to me if I was truly being and expressing my authentic self? Because many of you have points of views and limitations about what would happen that are not real at all. But do you ever think about how you and your authentic self and how you share you and your authentic self could actually be the one thing that changes somebody's life? Remember, Libra is a sign that's ruled by the planet Venus. Venus is a sign, Venus is a planet of love. It's the planet of beauty. It's the planet of relationships. It's the planet of art. It's the planet of creativity. Okay? There's a lot of this energy that is going to come up this month for you. But what I want you to remember with all of this energy is that beauty is a frequency. It's not a standard. So oftentimes when people are judging us, or oftentimes when we're judging others, I should also say, we're looking at a standard that we're holding them against or that they're holding us against, right? The standard for a person of this caliber should be ABCXYZ. That is what we call a persona, right? Have you ever met somebody who was like, well, I'm shy, but when I have a few drinks, I can be out in public and I can let go a little bit and I can be a little bit more me. That's a persona. The persona is that the person thinks that in order for them to let down their guard and be them, that they have to drink. So therefore, he adapts that persona in order to fit in. I hope I'm making sense here. What personas are you adapting to fit in that are not truly aligned with who you are? And everything that brings up too, can we just destroy and uncreate it, please? And to know that personas are not who you are authentically. Personas are like a mask. Okay. They're this mask that you wear that says, I am this or I need that. But what I'm going to tell you is the persona is what makes you a slave. That's right. I said it. The persona is what makes you a slave. Meaning, if that person in the example that I gave, if he needs to have alcohol in order to feel more comfortable around others, that means he is a slave to alcohol. If you ever find yourself in a point of view where you say, I have to have this in order to be or do that, then you are a slave to whatever that may be. So we want to become really clear about the places in our lives where we feel like a slave. And instead of calling in those situations, aligning and agreeing with them to define our beauty, our standard, if you will, our value, what I'd like to invite us all to do instead is, how do you define and claim beauty that aligns with your authentic self? Who is your authentic self? Are you willing to acknowledge him or her as beautiful? So, this is also reminding us of our relationship that we have with ourself. Remember, we spoke about relationships as something that is incredibly powerful and significant right now with this energy in Libra. Relationships. What value do you give to the relationships in your life? Do you give more people more power? Do you give those relationships more power than you? What if there was balance? What if there was truly, truly, truly balance in our lives? What if a relationship was no longer about what we can be or do or create that makes others happy, only others happy, but instead an invitation to make us happy? That is the relationship with ourselves. When we truly, truly foster and ignite that relationship with ourselves, then what can happen is we can begin to have a congruent, harmonizing, embodying relationship with other people. Also, when you look at your inner alignment, does who you are inside match your aesthetics of the world around you? Have you ever walked into somebody's house and they were a complete mess? A complete mess, a disaster. And you go, well, that person is kind of a disaster in real life too, right? Remember that oftentimes our outer world is an expression of our inner world. So here we have another beautiful aspect to the energy of Libra, new moon, and that is to create an environmental aesthetic that is pleasing to you. Perhaps this is a good time for you to rearrange the furniture in a different way, hang up a new piece of art on the wall, buy a new rug, maybe some pots or pans to cook with. Now is a great time for these energies to evolve. And so, would you be willing to say, I want my outer world to reflect my inner world? And even if right now, perhaps it's not the right time financially for you to invest in those things, use your imagination. How would you decorate or design your home so that it is so unique and so incredibly special? This is an opportunity that we have this month as well. Now, what I want to talk about is how we manifest with this energy. What is manifesting? What is manifesting to you? Manifesting, people often think of as focused co creation of something. But manifesting is not an act. Let me say that again. Manifesting is not an act, it's not a verb, right? We think of it as a verb. I'm going to manifest a new home. I'm going to manifest a new relationship. But the truth is that to manifest is to acknowledge what is showing up in your life, right? So this moment right here is a manifestation. Somewhere, somehow, in some point of view in your life, you asked for exactly what we are sharing here in this time and in this space and in this moment. You asked for something that you're going to hear tonight in this class. Because you asked for it, you are now receiving it. Now you might go, that's really crazy, Daniel. I didn't know that I was asking for it. Now, if you look around in your life, you see all the things that are showing up in your life, and you go, oh, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask to have no money. I didn't ask for that person to cut me off in traffic. I didn't ask. You might not have asked for that, but you asked for the energy that was beneath it that brought it into existence. So, for example, you may be asking, I am asking, Creator, please, please, please allow me to know that I am humble, that I am spiritual, that I am kind, that I am loving, and that is the most important thing in my life. And Creator, I am manifesting that. I know that I am always connected to the Creator every second of the way, no matter what. And so as you manifest for something like that, then you might have a belief that you can't have that and be rich at the same time, that you can't be connected to the Creator, to be really spiritual, and also to have money. Or you might have a belief that suffering, connecting to the Creator, is only done through suffering. All of these things are what we call limiting beliefs. For any of you who have been in any of my theta healing classes, this is the main source of what we do in theta healing, is we get to what the bottom belief is that's blocking us. So if you look around your environment in your life and you say, I didn't manifest this, I didn't manifest this, I didn't manifest this, stop. And instead say, wow, I manifested this, and I wonder what the real lesson is and what it's teaching me. Acknowledge it. Don't push it away. Don't focus on the negative of it. Don't focus on, I don't have any money. 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 Don't focus on that. Focus on, wow, I'm really excited about the lessons that I am learning. And I know and I trust that there is so much abundance coming into my life. There is so much abundance that is here for me now, for me to access, for me to get in touch with, for me to experience, for me to enjoy. And as you shift that vibration, what will manifest in your life will become more in alignment or congruent with that. So when we say that we're going to manifest tonight, what we're really saying is we are going to ask for the manifestation to happen. We're going to ask for the manifestation to occur. Now, because we have such a really, really incredible connection here tonight, and this week in particular with the planet Venus, we have the sun, which is in the sign of Libra, controlled by Venus. We have the moon entering into the sign of Libra, which is controlled by Venus. And we also have the planet Venus, which is in the sign of Libra. So what this is telling us is that the energy of Venus is so intense right now, and so beautiful, and so magical, and so harmonious that we cannot let it pass us by. because it is demanding that we refine the things that we are asking for, that we refine our willingness to ask for more of what we want, to ask for more beauty, more magic, more money, more things that make us feel good. We often denounce or renounce the physical world because we think that that's not spiritual, but that's not the truth. The physical world is a manifestation of our spiritual and our conscious world. And so the invitation then becomes to ask for more. Ask for more of that which makes you happy. Ask for more of that which brings you excitement. Ask for more of that which fills you up. I was reminded a lot of that in the last week and a half. I got to go on this incredible, I'll call it a holiday. It's more of an adventure. I got to go on this incredible adventure, and I went to this little town in Germany. And went to this little town in Germany. I met some friends from New York there. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, to be honest with you. I just loved the people that I was joining. And because I loved the people that I was joining, I knew that it would be a fun trip, but they planned everything. I just went with the flow. And so we got there and they were like, we're going to go climb a mountain. And I'm thinking, climb a mountain? Not only is it a mountain, it's the highest elevated mountain in Germany. And I was like, come on, guys. I am not a mountain climber. And they're like, no, it's going to be fun. But I went along the way and I did it. We took hikes. We did all these things in nature. One day we went and we saw these beautiful castles. Castles from the, oh my God, like centuries old castles, just gorgeous castles. They looked like they were out of a storybook. When I said that to the guide said to me, ah, you're very intuitive. He said, do you know that Walt Disney actually came to this town and based Cinderella's castle off of one of the castles that we saw in Fusen? And I was like, well, there you have it. Being in that environment, that royalty, that beauty really allowed my imagination to imagine what it must have been like to be a king, right? To live in this palace, to have all these wonderful people around you, to have these parties, these masquerades, these operas, and all these cool things. So it really got me thinking about this amazing energy we have to manifest tonight. And then we went to Portugal and we were in a little tiny island called Madeira, which is almost like a mini Hawaii. Like it's a beautiful, beautiful island, incredibly rich with lush rainforests, and it was just beautiful. It was right on the ocean, on the Atlantic Ocean, not far from the coast of Morocco. We spent some time there eating delicious food. And then yesterday, the most amazing thing happened. On Friday night, as I was going to check in for my flight, I thought my flight was at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, but my flight was actually at 4 a.m. It was already midnight. I only had a few hours to pack, to get ready. But I did, and I made it, and I had a 12-hour layover in Lisbon. And I said, you know what? I'm going to allow the Creator to show me the most amazing sights in Lisbon so that I can enjoy this beautiful place. And I have to tell you, it was the greatest mistake that could have ever happened, me not having a 4 p.m. flight, me having that 4 a.m. flight and the hustling to get on that plane. The people that I met yesterday on my adventure, the beauty that I experienced, the music that I heard. When I got on the plane to come home to Amsterdam, I cried. I was listening to one of the songs that I had heard some guy singing in the park. I was listening and I cried. And I thought, wow, this is so the energy of Venus speaking to me. A multidimensional sensorial experience helps us to manifest. And so, what I want each and every one of us to do, I've asked you to bring certain things with you tonight. What I want each and every one of us to do is, I want you to create a 5D vision board. What do I mean by 5D? I mean a vision board that is not only vision, but that is also sound, that is also taste, that is also touch, and that is also feeling. So we want to incorporate all five senses, smelling, hear, taste, touch, smell, and feel. Okay, so I want you to take one of those things that you brought today to this workshop that you will include in your 5D workshop, in your 5D vision board. And I want you to actually, we're going to do a meditation, but what I want you to do is I want you to take that thing. So, for example, I think I told you guys in another class or whatever, I really love perfume, but I love like very, very niche fragrances that are not necessarily traditional. And in Lisbon yesterday, I came across this really cool shop, and the name of the shop was called Amazing Shop. And I was like, well, I have to go in there. And it had all this really, really cool stuff in it. And sure enough, it had this beautiful perfume line. And the guy showed me this perfume, and it's an Italian brand called Rhizome, right? And he showed me this exact cologne called Concrete Tide. Okay. I'd never heard of this brand, nothing. And he explained it to me that the perfumer was really wanting to create a memory of surfing on a beach with a concrete pier. So when you smell the perfume, when I smelled the perfume, that is exactly what it smelled like. It smelled like the beach, but it smelled like wet concrete on the beach. And I was so incredibly taken with it. I bought it immediately. And I thought, you know what? This is going to be my my olfactive, that means smell, olfactive manifestation on my 5D vision board. I also found my labradorite stone that will also be a part of my 5D vision board. I went through my Spotify playlist and I found 10 songs that really align me with what I want to manifest. I can send you guys the playlist if you have Spotify. I'll send it to you later afterwards. And then I also wanted to find something that feels good. And this particular shirt I found in Lisbon yesterday, and the designer of this brand is local only to Lisbon, right? He's also a surfer, does these really, really, really cool things with menswear that are not typical. And the name of his brand is actually called, I'm going to share it with you here. It's called Fairly Normal. And this shop was just so incredibly cool. And the way that they had made all of these things were done in small edits, like not big batches. But this material, for example, that this shirt is made out of was not recycled material, but it was a material that had been pushed aside or left over from a different project. So the brand is very sustainable. And there was something about that really, really, really made me feel so good. I bought the shirt. And so as I tap into the smell and the feel and the sound and in the taste today there's a begins a new season, a season where there's a lot of pumpkins everywhere. I bought myself a pumpkin spice coffee today, which reminded me of all of the feelings and the sensations I want to have for this month. And so I want you to take a second and I want you to connect with one of those pieces, one of those physical pieces, whether it's the clothing or something. I asked you all to bring them, so you should have them. And I want you to take take it and take them into your hand. And I want you to hold them while we do the manifestation meditation right now. Okay. And what you're going to do when you do the manifestation meditation tonight is you're going to place into the pyramid. We're going to go up. We're going to see a pyramid. You're going to place into the pyramid all of these things that are a part of your vision board. And as you place them into the pyramid, I want you to also think about all of the other things that you want to manifest, that you want to see manifested in your life. The money, the self-love, the confidence, the education, the connection, everything that you wish to manifest so that it shows up on your vision board and that it can actually show up in your day-to-day life from the meditation. Okay? So we're going to dive into the meditation now. And it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It's so wonderful to have so many people with us tonight from all over the world. I just want to really acknowledge my translators. I have translators in Iran. I have Sabrina in Iran. I have translators in China. I have a translator in Spanish. I want to thank you all for being here and for just really being a part of this collective group, this collective effort to share this energy with the world. I am so incredibly grateful for you all. Okay, so I want you to begin this meditation and close your eyes. And close your eyes and just become present with the energy here today. I want to actually see if I can place you guys. I created a meditation sound, a song, and I want to play it for you. Let me see if I can also stream it and you can hear it. Oh yeah, here it is. Let me see. Doesn't seem to be playing. Okay. Oh well. Here it is. Sabrina, can you hear this if I play this? Also, can you hear me? I want to make sure that you can hear me and you can hear the music. Can you hear the music too? No. Okay. I didn't think so. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, I've been working on this really cool meditation track. And maybe I'll just send it to you guys so that you can just have it to manifest with. Okay. Anyway, so let's begin. And let's go ahead and close our eyes and find ourselves in our heart. And as we close our eyes and find ourselves in our heart, I want you to focus on this big, bright white light in the center of your heart. And from this space, as you focus this energy, I want you to imagine this ball of light growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Imagine this ball of light expanding into the room that you're in. Expanding into the home, into the ground, into the earth. Imagine this energy expanding far and wide into the town that you're in, the city, the country, the state, the province. Expand beyond there to your country, your continent, and the bodies of water that surround your continent. Expand that energy to other countries, other continents, and other bodies of water. Expand beyond there until you and your ball of light are one with the entire globe. And as you expand beyond there, you expand beyond outer space, out through different layers of light, through a golden-like light, expand through a jelly-like substance light, expand through the pink haze, which is the law of compassion. Expand through there as you enter into the seventh plane of all that is, the plane of creation, of oneness, and of complete totality. And as you expand beyond there, I want you to feel the atoms and molecules of existence surrounding you. Allow your energy to just become one with everything. And now I want you to imagine a big, bright, beautiful pyramid standing in front of you. And as you see this pyramid standing in front of you, it's giant, it's huge, like the pyramids in Egypt or the pyramids in Mexico. It's huge. I want you to know that this is your meditation manifestation pyramid, and that anything that you place into the pyramid will actualize in your life with complete ease, joy, and glory. And now, little by little, I want you to begin to place into your pyramid all of the things that you're going to manifest on your vision board, all the things that you're going to use to manifest with your 5D vision board. Place those things into your pyramid. And as you do so, I want you to ask the Creator to imbue each of those things with the power of manifestation, with the power to attract and draw into your real life existence that which you are manifesting and actualizing and asking for. So that now each and every one of those items, each and every one of those songs, those vibrations, those smells, everything that you're placing into your pyramid will all become antennas for drawing in your magical light, for bringing in more divine opportunities. And now I'd like for you to place into your pyramid some of the things that you would like to manifest for. Are you manifesting for a new job? Are you manifesting for a new career? Are you manifesting for love? What are some of the things that are of importance to you tonight, right here, right now in your life? Would you like to manifest for bigger opportunities? Would you like to manifest for the ability to choose things that are aligned with your highest vibration? What are you manifesting for? Just, I'm going to give you a minute to place those things into your pyramid now. How will you feel when you actualize these things that you are manifesting? Would you like to know what it feels like to know that you are worthy of receiving all that you are asking for with ease, with joy, with glory, with love? If you'd like that, say yes. And so now I want you to step into the pyramid, in the center of the pyramid. And as you step into the center of the pyramid, I want you to make this command: Creator of all that is, it is commanded that all of this or greater is actualized and manifested in my life now. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is. And now, what I'd like for you to do is imagine that on the count of three, when I snap my fingers, that this entire pyramid is going to expand into a gazillion particles of light. 1, 2, 3. And now I want you to place your palms face up in the palm in your lap. I want you to lift the field of vision about 20 degrees above the field of vision. As if you're sitting in a movie theater, I want you to look on the screen there and see your amazing, magical, incredible life unfolding in front of you. Recognize that you are the one that created it. You are the one that chose it. You are the one that gets to live it and enjoy it. And now let's take our palms and rub our palms together. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes and allow that energy to come into your body and into your being. Place your hands on your heart. Congratulate yourself. Thank yourself for being here and for being a part of this amazing experience to bring in and to call closer into our lives all of those things that we wish to have. I wish you all an amazing and incredible new moon an amazing and incredible month ahead, filled with blessings and wonders and miracles. I look forward to seeing you guys again, as always. Friendly reminder that next week we have a new weekly download. The new weekly download next week is called Big Thinking. We are going to move into the sign of Scorpio, the sun sign of Scorpio. And as we move into the sun sign of Scorpio, we're going to access those energies and learn to truly think big. We're going to do a deep clearing session to release us from anything that's blocking us from thinking big so that we can truly be magical, amazing, and magnetic leaders in our lives. So that's next week. Until then, I wish you all an amazing week. I'm grateful for you all, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.